Welcome to the Imperfect Dads Podcast. This is your host, Devin. We believe dads care deeply about their family and kids, but they don't always have a space to discuss what their life looks like. Our podcast is a space for dads to discuss the ups and downs of fatherhood and how they feel like they're holding it together or how they're not. Thank you for joining us for this episode. On this episode, we have on Troy Fink. Troy is a pastor and works with Gammit Tech, a company creating potty training solutions. A lot of this conversation is about themes we both believe in about fatherhood, acknowledging what you're good at, being okay with what you're bad at, being aware of what life you're building, and how faith intertwines with it all. It was really cool to talk to Troy about the whole concept of being aware of what you're building and if it's just for yourself, or to realize if it's meant to serve the people that are around you. And also just like one more thing.
Dad, just start the episode.
Oh, my bad.
So give me 30,000 feet. So I love the imperfect.
Yes.
I'm in the ministry. This is not my book. You thought this is like when,
Okay.
This is totally when a guy pulls out his own book.
It's only $9.95.
I love this. I don't know and it's the,
Yes. Oh, that's cool.
Perfect pastor,
Yes.
which, honestly, man, pastoring is just the extension. It's the public, outward facing extension of your personhood in your family room.
Yeah.
It's being a spiritual dad.
Yeah. It is. Yes.
So I am just a huge fan, Zach S. Wine, and this dude filleted me to pieces, the imperfect pastor. So I saw that you guys went from the Nashville dads to imperfect dads, and then I love the logo, the I'm perfect dad.
Yes.
Isn't that the tension that we're all? Well, first and foremost, I'm Troy, and I'm not the perfect. I'm the imperfect dad for sure.
That's the hope, man. Of course. Gladly. Yeah. No, that's the hope of the name change and everything. We struggled with it for like 9 months, something like that, trying to figure out what do you want to be? What should we do? How do we don't want to use AI for graphics, but also we don't have any money for graphics, like all that stuff. And Justin actually came up with it. So I have to give full credit to him for that and I can't say how many guests have been like, I will do this podcast because your name is Imperfect Dads, because I'm already feeling like you guys are welcoming the discussion of what the heck am I doing? And since that's where I feel like the conversation will go, then I will talk for hours. And that's usually my leading sales pitch to people is like, hey, I just want to know what your life is like. I want to know what your reality is like, because I don't think there's enough room for dads just to be like, hey, here's what my life is like and here's who I am. I think because there's so much focus on what did you do perfect for your kids today? What perfect life are you creating for your kids? And all of us are like, I'm not. There's no way I'm doing that. So that's my hope, is to already start with the disarming name, disarming everything, just so you can be like, yeah, man, here's where I messed up today. Here's where I thought I maybe did it right. And let's talk about it.
Yeah, that really resonates with me, because I too am, like every one of your listeners, everyone who isn't your listener. This is the plight of everyone, that there's a standard out there and it's high, and none of us are living up to it, and we're falling short each and every day, and we're falling short most regularly with the people that we're most in contact with. So that's, for me, my wife, that's my kids, that's my coworkers, that's my teammates. The point is that the more you get to know me, the more time that we spend together, the more under the microscope in which I am found, the more cracks, the more errors. So I'm grateful for you who are sort of normalizing and taking some of the edge off the that we're all really operating in, that the standard is high, and I'm striving, I'm achieving, I'm clawing, I'm getting up, I'm persevering, and kudos for all of those things.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter if you're LeBron or you're little old me or you. Jumping the Grand Canyon is quite the obstacle, right?
Yeah. It is. I find it is good opportunities to find grace and I never want to justify myself, but I always take it as an opportunity to try to understand myself. Like the moments in which I'm like, I fell short here. Okay. If I feel like I fell short, am I aware of the standard that I'm trying to live up to? Because that's a pretty big thing to figure out. And I think there is a high standard I think every dad has a high standard for themselves. I have to believe that inherently. But I don't know if every dad is able to dissect what the standard they've actually set for themselves is. Because I think there's a lot of inherent, this is what I'm trying to live up to. And you're like, well, what are you trying to live up to? And you're like, I actually need to think about this. What am I guilting myself over? What am I beating myself up over? And is that what's my relationship with my standard? And have I even taken the time to realize what my standard is? Because to me, that's a massive part of the journey of fatherhood is your dad sets the standard for you, your leader set your standard for you, and you might not even know what standard you're hoping to live up to.
Dude, so spot on. If you're aimless,
yeah.
Good luck getting a bullseye. I mean, literally the term aimlessness without aim is just rooted in not having direction, not having boundaries, not having the compass, not having the direction. And that wayward, that aimlessness always leads to sort of a soupy, nebulous, hazy kind of groping through life and trying to figure it out. Good luck with that, dude. My personal conviction is that the standard, and let's get into it. The standard
please do.
that we're all to be operating on is actually written inherently on our hearts, the same way for my little ones, my fingerprints, my DNA. Very much a great deal of myself is really imprinted upon them. So is for the standards of man written on each and every one of our hearts by our maker, right? By God. So it's like cross cultures, cross ethnicities and times and places and continents and fads and social constructs. It's always been like, you don't steal from the guys. You don't steal from Walmart, and you don't steal from the guy selling apples in the village market. Doesn't matter here or there, now or then, or in 1,000 years from now. If this whole ball of dirt isn't still, there's something inherently wrong. It's like, oh, gosh, lying's bad, stealing's bad, killing's bad, and that standard, I think, is the fingerprint of God. The theologians would call that the Imago Dei. That just means that on the sixth day, God made man in his image. Imago, image, Dei, it's Latin for the image of God, and that we're, in fact, image bearers of God.
Yeah.
You, me, the famous soccer player, every dad, if you're a good dad, if you're a bad dad, if you're doing well, if you're doing bad, if you're addicted to drugs, if you're clean and sober, it doesn't matter. You've been imprinted with hand of God in and on your body. And as an image bearer of God, you bear the likeness of your Father, of the one who made you. And in that way, when we sort of all inherently know is that there's a right way and a wrong way. The problem is that when we push that inherent sense of conscious morality and truth, we just squash it all the way down. We fill it with whatever the latest or the greatest is, or even worse, whatever best suits us at the time. And now it's a completely subjective crapshoot as to what it is right, is what it is whatever I feel like it. Frankly, man, I just detest that ideology. And here's why. Because I gave myself over to my being like the governor and the establisher of my own inherent standard, righteousness, and it just brought me to such a place of real brokenness. And like an infectious sort of disease, so did it hurt all of the people around me. So as I'm my own standard setter, life is a dumpster fire, and it's literally sparking flames onto everyone else, innocent bystanders. And then all the while, as God has been so gracious to help me get in touch with his standard for my life. No, I haven't like gotten an A+ yet. It's been a decade. I haven't had one day where I did it. I did it.
Yeah.
But that North Star, dude.
Yeah.
That moral uprightness and the longing within me to grab hold of it and like just wrench out every drop of it and receive of that and be that man that God has called me to be on the people around me has totally rewired my mind. I'm like, and no, dude, you're made for way more than that, dude. Come on, let's do this together. And I can say in truth, by God's grace, I've really committed my life to that end, to strengthening the hands of men, to letting them know that there is a way. It's not, there is the present imperative way. There is the way, walk in it. Like there is a way for you, man. Walk in this.
Yeah.
This is going to be good for you. It's going to be hard, but guess what? So's what you're doing.
Yeah.
So let's do this other thing together.
Yeah.
And hey, no doubt if you get on this path with me in like a mile and a half down the road, you're going to be dragging my sorry behind. I'll be like, come on, let's go back. And it'll be your turn to encourage me to take one more step, so.
Yeah. I think my wife or I had a therapist be like, when you're in a hard spot, try to find the hard decision that leads to growth you actually want to grow in that direction of. Because life is filled with constant, neither option really seems like good, but which option repeats a pattern that you never like yourself whenever you're in that pattern?
Yes.
And maybe don't do that one. One of my favorite things from like the Bible Project is they overanalyze like the story of Cain and Abel. And they mentioned like, they overemphasize the fact of like before Cain sins, God gets in his face and is like, you don't have to do this. Like sin is roaring like a lion. You know, you don't have to do this, right? And Cain looks up and basically goes, meh, I'm going to do it anyway. And whenever I view my ego through that lens, I view it very differently. Whenever I'm like, hey man, all of your ego, all of your flesh, all of your whatever nature wants to do this one action. Have you checked with God? God's probably screaming at you, hey man, do you want to take a moment here? Do you want to just think about this for a second? And it's my own ego, selfishness, desire to build my own kingdom, be my own God, realistically. That then destroys the gift that is in front of me, if I'm honest. So I'm with you.
C.S. Lewis would say that as men that we are not overly ambitious and not desiring even too much, but actually too little. That we're like children content playing with backyard mud pies.
Yep.
Instead of joining our Father to a day at the seashore.
Yeah.
And it's like, how true is that? And that I think what really that we're hitting on internally is that imperfect dad listeners, friends, family, men, women, right? There is truly, we need to come to terms with the truth that there is an enemy inside us, that there is a traitor within us that needs to be wrangled with, who needs to be wrestled with, who's content in apathy and passivity and in imperfection and all of the ways it's expressed. And that the thing to do is to crucify that guy. That guy's got to go.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the Bible's language is. It's why Jesus would say, and I'm so grateful that we're able to like just talk freely about Jesus.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is why Jesus says that a man has to be born again. It's like sort of like, hey, the first time it didn't go great. So we gotta get you, we gotta kind of start over. And he would say these sort of counterintuitive claims like to find your life, you gotta lose it.
Mm-hmm.
To receive what I have for you, you have to deny yourself. Join me in a baptism into death that you may be raised into newness of life. And that is the picture of what Christians do as they're baptized. They follow after the same pattern of the Lord, who died a death and on the third day rose again. So do we go into the waters of baptism, symbolizing that traitor within us, that standard is whatever they feel like it, or whatever the world is telling them, or whatever their impulse or desires are, or whatever they came from, or whatever trauma that they've experienced, instead of that shaping the direction of my life, all of that is out the window. I'm done with all of that. I'm not trying to be refined. I'm not trying to make myself into a better person. The whole thing is done. And then I have the opportunity by faith in Christ to be raised into something new. Yeah. And Devin, that's my conviction, man. Coming to Jesus as a deadbeat dad, coming to Jesus as someone struggling with addiction and someone struggling with tremendous insecurity and no doubt probably a fair share of like warped thinking, even mental illness, just the whole spectrum of living a life of just really life of focused and established and rooted in myself.
Yeah.
That kind of led me down those roads. And I've always sort of said it like this, that I'm born in 87, which I know, well, you're saying, but of course,
I'm 87 as well.
But here's where you say, what, you?
No,
I thought you were.
No, I'm sorry.
What?
Sorry, there's your brutal honesty for this moment.
You look like you were born in 2000.
Oh my gosh, are you sure? Dude, no, the list of mistakes you just listed, like, oh, you've got to be at least mid to late 30s, Gary.
Yeah, he did. So if I'm an 87 Honda Civic, I didn't come to Jesus and get a brand new paint job. I didn't get new rims on my wheels or get a tune up in my engine. He didn't clean me up. God changed me from what I was to something altogether new. And that's his promise, in 2 Corinthians 5:17, that anyone in Christ is a new creation. Old things have passed away, and behold, all things have become new. And I can say that what I've read in the Bible, I have experienced in my life. This is not a paid endorsement. This is truly what I've experienced, and I couldn't be more thankful to him for it.
I like Franciscan monks a lot. So like Thomas Merton, Thomas Keating, and Thomas Merton has a quote that's basically, a lot of us spend our lives climbing a ladder just to realize we put it against the wrong wall. And that, like, there's a lot of talk that Richard Rohr does, who's also a Franciscan monk, of basically of your first half of life and then your second half of life. First half of life is very much self-kingdom building, trying to climb the ladder, trying to do all of that. And then there's usually a moment, usually in your 30s, that happens in which your ego gets destroyed because you realized everything you thought you were building maybe isn't what you thought it was after all. And that's the moment to look up and reassess and be like, so what matters then? What is this life that I'm living? What community am I building? What legacy am I leaving? What love am I creating in this world? Because what I thought I was creating wasn't the depth that I thought it was. So let me take my ladder down, let me put it against a different wall, and let's see what's up this wall.
What tremendous humility and wisdom. I think that is, it's so unromantic. So like,
it's not very pretty.
It's just whatever the opposite of like cool and sexy is. It's certainly that, but for those of us who've experienced that and kind of went in that direction and have had some like revitalization, regeneration, recalibration in our understanding and our value system, to sort of display that humility, I think you are in the real sweet spot of experiencing the change that your heart's really longing for. It's like when you're busy, when you're squeezing so tightly, it's hard to get the wrong things out of your hand. Have I spent time just banging my head against these wrong walls? A guy said to me the other day, I did a post. So we're really trying to develop our company. We're looking to launch a Kickstarter. And maybe we'll talk about the product in a little bit.
Yeah, if you want to. Yeah.
We're looking to launch a Kickstarter for our company, and one of my like sort of personal, I don't know how unique it is, but
Mm-hmm.
one of my personal convictions of sort of our branding strategy as this pre-revenue, pre-launch, super early team in a dream kind of gritty, real, transparent sort of people.
Yeah.
I would like to think is talking about like authentically and humbly where we've been, where
Mm-hmm.
we are, and where we're going. So as I'm doing that, sort of the abundance of who I am, addiction comes up.
Yeah.
Jesus comes up. Brokenness comes up because it's hard. It's hardwired. And it's not just hardwired in me personally. I believe that it's something that all of us should be leaning into because we all have
Mm-hmm.
an experience of these variables in different capacity. So a friend of mine and a sharp guy, said, watch how you talk about addiction in your past, in your present. What,
Mm-hmm.
so you're branding. And,
Yep.
and there's word association and there's psychology to this. And I have been prayerfully considering that because I'm insane about making this successful and about being successful. And I want to. And I believe that I should do this unto the glory of God. And I'm aiming for the stars. We're aiming to like get bought out by some amazing company who wants to use our technology to help parents all across the world and get this out of like the hands of this kind of regular guy from Philly.
Yeah.
And I don't know where I've landed on this, but I'll tell you one thing that I know is certainly going to be a part of our strategy moving forward is that I have to lead and brand and market and pastor and husband and father from the abundance of who I am. Like, I don't believe that as dads that we're to take off our job hat and then put on our dad hat, or take off our husband hat and put on our hobby hat. I think that for those of us who have been in step with the brokenness that really lives within us all, that we should be heralds for the calling out and the calling up of men everywhere to be like, hey, dude, like, no, you don't have it figured out. And let's normalize that you don't have to. And if you come from addiction, or you come from bad habits, or you come from poor character, that's okay. We all do in one way or another. Let's just not be content staying there.
Yeah.
Let's press on to that upward call towards something greater than ourselves and becoming the man that God has called us to be.
I fully believe one way I've learned how to phrase that sentiment is I think every single version of you is worthy of love. I just inherently believe that every version of you is worthy of love. Some are a lot easier to love than others. And that's what I tell myself, like, all right, man, you're being kind of a mess. You're worthy of love. This not take that away from you. This version of you, it's not that easy to love right now, man. This sharper than some stuff here, okay?
Yeah, no, I agree, dude. It is worthy to love. The question is that should we be, is it worthy to talk about? Is it worthy to lead with that on a promotional, on the social media?
I know. Yeah. And
maybe,
also
maybe
the only thing that gets tripped up in my head is like, once it's out there, it can never come back. So that's part of like what I would imagine you probably struggle with is like, all right, if I lead with like, hey, here's my story. I've had addictions. I've had these problems, and my faith has really restored me in ways that have made me a better and the person I need to be. And then people are like, oh, so wait, you're addicted? And it's like, no, that's the first half of the story. Why are you like, yes, I'm trying to be real with you guys, but like, that's also focus. Can we tell the whole story? And my fear is always like, people hear what they want to hear sometimes. And I'm over here trying to be a human and a whole person. And like, it's like, can you accept this as a whole person and not just focus on the one soundbite you're hoping to hear?
Dude, listen, I love to be liked. I love to appeal to the masses.
Without question.
Dude, I would love to just be this polished, perfect. I would love to be the perfect dad. I would love to be the perfect business owner. I'm a hardware technology CEO. I founded a company when we're building the world's smartest potty trainer.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's like that. Here's my claim. I have the smartest potty technology. I have the smartest potty training technology on the planet.
Yeah, yeah.
No one has done it like me. I'm the best. And I'll tell you what, I'm a cold total basket.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Now look, I'm a whole person.
Yeah.
My wife is beautiful, good, and godly. She supports me, and my marriage is far from perfect, but it's strong.
Mm-hmm.
My kids are healthy and sweet and kind, and they're on the trajectory, including my 18-year-old who will be 19 any day now.
Mm-hmm.
My 4-year-old who is reciting Bible verses for me, regularly. My 1-year-old who knows all of her flashcards. It's like, they're all on the trajectory of being far better people than I've been. And I hope that they can climb on my shoulders and enjoy a legacy that was not available for me, though I had a deeply loving family. And my dad is around and is my biggest fan. The old joke is that I took one shot all basketball season in the 3rd grade basketball league, and it was on our own. It was on it was on the wrong goal. It was at the wrong.
You scored a goal, but not the correct goal.
I didn't know. I bricked it, Devin. I bricked it.
No, I'm giving you more credit. Sorry.
You're giving me too much credit, but my dad to this day says you're an amazing basketball player. So couldn't have a bigger fan. But first one in my family. I was 13 at my parents' wedding.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. First one in my family to go to college. First one in my family to walk with God.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say in my immediate family, my point is that, I'm developing this amazing thing. I'm on this amazing journey. I'm a pastor, and I'm planning a church in the San Fernando Valley. Life is full of adventure and trial, and we're navigating all of this like uncertainty, and there's nothing but green and blue ahead of us. It's like it's a really hard but amazing season. But still, I'm the imperfect dad. I don't have it all together. But because I'm a whole person, because of what Christ has done in my life, because I'm built on the rock, who he is and what he's done, the disciplines that he's told me to follow, because I've truly followed them, it's okay. And it's okay that I don't have it all figured out. It's okay that I haven't gone this way before. I'm not afraid. I'm farther than I should be. There's a lot to be encouraged about. And you could bottle up some of what you've been blessed with, and you could take some of it. I have something to share with you and and the rest of the world. And if you take it, it's available. All you have to do is reach out and grab it. And if you take it and you do these things, you will see improvements in your life. I believe that as sure as I believe that the sky is blue and bright. So it's like, what a sort of juxtaposed tension to be operating in. And it's like, it's just cool that you're regular dudes who don't have it together but are getting better a voice.
Yes, that's the hope, man. It's because as you literally just stated, life is filled with constant tension that you hold every single day. And what do you do with that tension? Where do you turn to whenever you feel that tension? I think is a fascinating study. Because I do feel like most of the parables of Jesus is him just looking up and like asking questions. He's not always giving the most clear answers. He's just like, well, what about this? And you're just like, no, I want a clear answer. I want a very clear, defined answer. And he's just like, I'm going to make you live in the tension. But if you have all the money, can you enter through the kingdom of God? Or is it harder for the camel through the eye of the needle? It's like, but I want the money and the kingdom. Can't I have both? Please, can I have both? And he's just like, no, live in the tension. This is what you have to do. And I'm like, I don't like this. This
Yeah.
isn't always
Or
fun. But
you start making money and you're like, is this too much money?
yeah.
Should I be giving away some of this money? You know, Jesus is just like silent or speaking to each individual heart. I was listening to a pastor talk about Francis Chan the other day, and Francis Chan has a bunch of kids and has a big ministry following, and he was saying, Francis Chan, this is hearsay. I didn't hear the sermon.
Sure.
It's reliable source. Where Francis Chan is saying, now I'm in the San Fernando Valley. Francis Chan's church is in the valley next to me. It's called Simi Valley.
Okay.
And he built this church to be, a mega church, and even God built it. God built this church, and he came into great notoriety. Francis Chan is like blogged saying, and now I'm making $35,000, me and my children, and it's just too much. We just have too much. So we're going to go to China.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm digging my rent. I'm like,
yeah, that's not even my rent. Like, what are you talking about?
Oh my God, dude. And I'm like, as a pastor, 10 miles from this guy, the tension and the best things are found there.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I trained jujitsu.
Cool. Yeah, I thought you had a jujitsu sign behind your head back there somewhere.
Yeah. And it's cool. Jiu-jitsu is cool. Shout out Gracie Maita from Philly, and I'm training at a couple spots here in the Valley. Gooch Training Academy is in Canoga, and I train at Checkmat Northridge in Northridge, California. It's just been such a blessing. But let me tell you why I love it, because it's like the scripture, and that it teaches me at the same time that I'm stronger than I think that I am. Because there's been many times where you just have an animal of a man, strong, fast, technical, who knows all the ways to ping to your pong, and you go left and he goes right, and you go up and he goes down, and it's this beautiful dance. And when you are training with somebody who really knows what they're doing, it could be a real talk about tension. It could be a real rude awakening. So it's like there's been situations where I've trained and I thought I'm gonna die. It's just been so. You ever get on the assault bike or the Aerodyne bike or sprint up a hill as hard as you can?
Yeah.
You just get
this is where I died. This is how I go. Yeah.
Oh, can I tell you something, Devin?
Yeah.
I've never died once.
Yeah.
It's like I still haven't died yet, by God's grace. So it's like, how sweet is it to know you walk out of those feelings when you're totally redlined, like when you're hammered, when you're being brutalized, and when you don't die.
Yeah.
It's like spiritual. You're like, man, I'm so much stronger than I realized I was. But then at the same time that I'm like totally infused with confidence and strength. I'm stronger than I think that I am, stronger than I even know. Then like 115-pound, chick comes and she beats the crap out of you too.
Yeah, it takes you out like it's nothing.
You're like, wait. You're like, I'm not nearly as strong as I think that I am. And so few things can just sober you.
Yeah.
In such a diametrically opposed way. That's called a juxtaposition. It's these two things operating at the same time that are seemingly in conflict, where you're stronger than you think that you are, but also not as strong as you think that you are. And I find that to be so thematic in the scripture.
Yeah.
God's word says, oh, you're more than a conqueror, and you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. His grace is sufficient, that in your weakness, that his strength is made perfect, and that you're a victor in Christ, and that you're going to rule with Christ, and you're going to reign with Christ, and that you have value, the imago Dei, that you have inherent value, and that you've been made for a purpose. And like you walk out of it and you're like, this is amazing. I love the Bible. And then you're like, you're a sinner. You're broken to the very core of you. And guess what? It's like you're dust. You're broken. You're sinful. There's perversion in you. There's oppression in you. You're selfish. You're narcissistic.
Mm-hmm.
The scripture is plain about these things. And in between, and it's like, it's funny because here's my head. in
Have you had your literal representation?
between these high promises and in between these base truths is little old me just trying to figure it out, like, and not. But in that tension, a man has been formed. And I'll tell you, I think manhood is one of the biggest problems, the lack of clarity in and around what a man really is in our day and age, for the distinction between you're a little boy, Troy, at 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, and 26. I was in a man's body.
Yeah.
With a child.
Yeah.
With a mustache and muscles.
Yeah.
And I maintained that I was no more a man in my mid-20s as I was in 2001 when I was a 14-year-old boy going into high school. I was a boy, and a boy is a boy is a boy is a boy is a boy.
Yeah.
Well, we can determine in that tension that a man can be made, and you can transition from that boyhood, despite your chronological age, to that's man making kind of stuff.
I gotcha. Yeah. No, because it's the self-actualization, maturity, whatever you want to call it. Yes, I don't feel like until we had our second kid at like 28 or 29 that I felt like I'd stepped into my own identity of masculinity, manhood, and all of that, whatever that definition may have been. And before that, it was a lot of like, what am I doing? Like, what is this? What am I doing here? Like, am I that guy? Like, what is this? So yeah, no, I think hopefully there's always a moment in which you look up and you go, I have not handled these things properly. And I've handled these with the consciousness of the 14 and 15-year-old version of myself. I'm 25, I'm 26. Stop it. Like, just cut it out.
Yeah, man. Yes, man. Yeah, man. For sure. That is as real as I've ever.
And I do think, like, I don't know, I wish there were more like male initiation rites or something like that existed in American culture, because to me, that is the whole process of like, hey, you are entering into the next phase of your life. Here's all the men that are elders who have walked this path before. Let them walk with you and help rise you up. And I see a lack of that in our life. And I think that's normally found in the church, which is one of the main attractions to church life. But I think without the older generation, the willingness to say, hey, here's the steps I took. Here's the steps I want you to avoid. Let's go through this together. That also can leave an entire generation aimless.
I think something happened along the way in more recent history where the boys started to be together almost all the time with the boys.
Yeah.
And as men were less a part of their home and men have been working since the beginning of time, but more disconnected because of the modern man in his day job, and then his interests, and then his hobbies and his stock portfolio. It's like, before you know it, boys are being led by one another. And I think that there was a time not too long ago where boys were more intermingled with men, working alongside of their fathers, working alongside of their older brothers and their uncles. And it's like, you see what happened in Lord of the Flies. I love that movie. It's like this island of boys. And I think that you're right, that we are in great need of a nation, of a people, of a culture of men being men and expressing that masculinity out loud with strength and with grace, with wisdom, and with tenderness. I'm not talking about that toxic stuff that's depicted out on the social media. I'm talking about men who are following hard after what God has made them for. Men who are looking to be like the man, the greatest man that's ever been, Jesus. And we bar mitzvahed my son, so we're not cold. I'm not really Jewish. I'm of a Jewish ethnicity, in part, but I wasn't bar mitzvahed. My dad wasn't bar mitzvahed. I'm not sure if his dad was, but we were at least a couple generations away from that. And by the time I bar mitzvahed him, I was a devout Christian in full-time ministry. And I just wanted there to be a distinction in his life. That son, I love you and I'm here for you.
Mm-hmm.
But I've trained you in the way that you should go. And I sort of phrased it like this: son, there's no grandkids in heaven, meaning you can't be before the Lord and say, well, my dad's a pastor, or, hey, do you know my dad?
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't have too much credibility there. You
you don't got clout there.
I don't got clout like that. I can't even get into the American Airlines lounge in the Philadelphia International Airport. I'm like, they're like, yeah, you're in the back, dude. I'm like, oh, okay, thank you.
That's fair. I'll go back to my spot. Thank you.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Sorry, my bad. I thought I'd try.
Dude, I bar mitzvahed him so he might know. And I did that. I had the very best men that I knew and believed firmly that my voice, though it may carry weight, would only be amplified by having great and godly men in and around his life. And each took a topic of what we found to be biblical manhood, leadership, friendship, stewardship, spirituality. And they took these topics and did probably a 3-minute talk. There was probably 6 men there in total. We had steaks and we got in front of a huge bonfire. We played paintball and wrestled and had fireworks. And I gave him a Maasai spear. I have it here with me. I don't need to show you guys a 6-foot spear right here, but from this tribe in Africa, these boys have to go out and earn these spears.
Yep. Yeah.
That's gangster. That's what men do. So it's like they do that to sort of symbolize that rite of passage. And I wanted to follow suit. I wanted him to have a distinction that he was going to have to do this himself. It was going to have to be his to grapple with it. I couldn't be there. I could cheerlead him. I could pray for him. I could counsel him. I could support him. I could encourage him. I could warn him. He could learn from my many, many mistakes, but I couldn't do it for him.
Yep.
So,
correct. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Have you read The Intentional Father by John Tyson?
No.
Okay. I'll text you that, or I'll send you an Amazon link. You'd probably be very interested in that book.
Really?
Yes, it's all about male initiation rites, basically. And there's quite a few books about. It's been a while since I've read a lot of them. I need to relearn them as my son is 4 now. But just that entire process, because that what you just described is what I think culturally I want to exist. Because there's the reality of, hey, I can show you the door, but only you can walk through it. And here's the other people that are on the side of the door with me, but I'm not taking the steps. You are. So how do I put you in a position in which whenever you fail, this is who is here to love you and tell you you're okay and to figure it out. Because that's what you need. Because whenever you fail and you think you're all alone, I've never done anything I'm proud of. I've never done anything I want to talk about. It's always my worst self in those moments.
Yeah. Well, you are insulating men everywhere, Devin. So I hope that we could take a body shot at our worst selves across the listening audience. Hey, so I'm really excited about the product. It's called the Luvi. I have it here.
Yeah, tell us about the Luvi before we wrap up. Because my wife was like, when are you going to be done? So let's talk about the Luvi before we wrap up.
Yes. So the Luvi is a device. It's fits in the size in the palm of your hand, and it lives on the toilet that you and I use every day.
Okay.
And it has this sensor here that can determine green means go.
Okay.
And it can determine if your child is doing what they need to do in the bathroom. So,
okay.
In short, and I'll give you guys the short but candid version. So,
thank you.
18 years old, Troy Jr., his mom gets pregnant. That's my. So I'm 18 years old and my son is conceived, and I'm 19 years old and he's born, and he's called Troy Jr.
Okay.
And I am a wet noodle of a man. I am just a dork, a jerk, a clown.
An 18-year-old.
Yeah. An 18-year-old. Yes. I was truly an 18-year-old.
I would have been, I'm with you. I don't want to think back to who I was at 18 and 19 too often.
Was not ready for such a responsibility, though by God's grace, my son, he He's a good boy, good young man.
Mm-hmm.
Long story short is that I get married in 2018, and I'm really taking fatherhood. This is a chance to do it again, and for some important milestones that I missed for my son.
Mm-hmm.
Laser focused, completely dialed in on being there and joining Ezra in his successful journey to toothbrushing, tying shoes, potty training, throwing a ball, running, jumping, form tackle, jiu-jitsu, arm bars, tying knots, starting fires, everything in which I could ever teach him. So when he comes across potty training, I'm like racking my brain and just really blessed with a network of people that are just so much smarter than me.
Mm-hmm.
And I get this idea, going to the bathroom one day in a snowstorm. I'm with my oldest son, and I get back. I get into the car and I say, dude, that was the most fun I ever had going to the bathroom. And something cemented during that snowstorm behind the dumpster relief of myself. The idea of Illuvi was birthed.
Yeah.
And I connected with some friends, and we started testing and demoing and building and prototyping and getting patents and building companies and recruiting people and sourcing investment. And now we are here, and we're right in the thick of our beta launch. So we have just almost 24 units deployed to people across the country, and child psychologists and doctors and all of these neat experiences.
That's cool. Yeah.
Little kids going to the potty for the first time in the toilet, and some not working at all, but we're just like totally stoked. Just being the imperfect startup founders, So I'm staying consistent, because this imperfect dad is being an imperfect startup founder.
Yeah.
That's doing it. And I want to help parents potty train their kids everywhere. And I want their kids to be excited about it, because it's a fearful thing. So, if you guys are looking for potty training or know anyone who is potty training, you can go to our website at goluvi.com.
Okay.
And you can apply to get a free unit and be a part of the user study. It's going really well. And there's a lot of cool videos on there. You could follow us on our social media page at goluvi or at Gammit Tech and find out a lot more.
That's awesome. It's so funny whenever you do potty train your kid, because you realize how many opportunities for shame there are for you to inflict upon your child. And there are so many. They have regression, they have anything. And if so, they're like, hey man, it's okay. Like, this happens sometimes, but like the first time you do potty training, you learn that immediately. Whenever like, whoa, why didn't you make the natural instincts? You're like, whoa, why didn't you make the potty in time? And you're like, because they're learning, and you need to change your tone, your kindness, everything. Because if you inflict one, shame is hard, man. You don't want to parent with shame.
Dude, you're a really smart guy. Yeah, man. That is, I mean it. Yeah, that's the truth. And here's the thing. You're busy.
Yeah.
Stressed.
Yeah. Multitasking. Right?
You're thinking they're stressed. It's hard. Potty training is a really crappy experience. Mm-hmm. So it's like, now you have to not just teach them a completely new experience. Paper companies are spending billions of dollars to make. You could go through Target right now and find pull-ups for kids that are 65 pounds. Ezra's 30. We were at the doctor's today. Ezra's 39 pounds. 107 centimeters. I don't know. California, they measure in centimeters. In Philadelphia, I would have called the guy right out, but I didn't want to do it here because I don't know the lay of the land yet. I didn't even ask him what that means. I have to do the math later.
It's like, sure, but, sounds good, man.
Yeah, man. How many centimeters are you? How many centimeters are you, Al?
Yeah. I have no idea.
Yeah,
just so you know.
But anyway, 39 pounds. He's a healthy, big 4-year-old kid.
Yeah.
We're talking about 65 pounds in Target right now. Not to mention, Devin, 27 billion pounds of diaper waste going to U.S. landfills every year.
Too. Yeah.
Every year. Diapers are super expensive.
Mm-hmm.
And they can really, and going to the bathroom is like one of the first independent learning mechanisms that your child will ever experience. So what we do with the Luby is we just gamified it so they're interested. We gamified it so it's cool and it's fun and it's exciting, and the light show is immersive. And instead of you being on your kid to do this foreign thing which they never experienced before, don't exactly understand why, they're talking to you about it. I mean, we're the same age. There's a reason why you can sing the Pokemon theme song right now, but you can't name 15 elements on the periodic table. I mean, why do I know 15 Pokemon, dude? It's because learning it was presented to me in a way with light, sound, music, colors. I was intrigued. I was leaned in. And now I know that Squirtle turns into boy.
Wait, well, no.
Oh, sorry.
No.
Sorry.
You're okay. Yes. And then his final form
Bulbasaur turns into Venusaur.
Yes. But what's Squirtle's final form? Come on, man.
He's got the cannons, bro. I know about the cannons. Blastoise, dude. Blastoise.
Man, I'm not proud that I know that. I did not mean to fact check you on Pokemon in this episode, but apparently that's who I am today. Oh, dang it. Why do I know this?
You know a lot. You know a lot of good stuff, too.
Thanks, man. So, all right, look, how we end every episode is we ask every guest a series of 5 questions. They're all pretty lighthearted, pretty fun. First question is, did you have any backup names for your kids? Like any names that you almost named them?
Nope. No, if you want to keep it lighthearted, this was not lighthearted for me. I was crying out to God, fasting and praying. Yeah, it was like such an important thing for me. Okay. Ezra means helper. His name's Ezra Ben. Ben means son of my right hand. And
okay,
I was not playing around with that, nor should you.
Yeah. That's cool. See, that's awesome. That's fun. That's awesome. Next question. Do you have a favorite TV or movie dad?
I like anything that Kevin Costner's in.
Mm-hmm.
Is that guy is just cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is he a dad in anything?
Yeah, I mean, almost everything. I feel like you feel the dreams.
He's always a dad.
He's a father figure.
How about he's the dad and it's like 1917?
Yeah.
Or something like that. Do you know that recent series that was out on Paramount?
Yeah, the Taylor Sheridan. Yeah, I can't think of the name of it. Yellowstone.
Yellowstone.
Yellowstone. Yeah,
that's the dad. And I promise I fast forwarded on all the sexual parts before you guys start.
That's right. Yeah.
Social media saying that I'm
Pastor Troy.
That. I fast forwarded it.
Respects. Okay. Next question. I'm intrigued to see what we have to say for this one, especially being a Philly guy. What's your go-to replacement curse word? When you stub your toe, your kids are nearby, you want to say a bad word, but you know you shouldn't. What do you say instead?
Frick? What the frick, dude?
It goes with your last name a little bit, like frickin' Fink.
Yeah, I am a frickin' Fink, dude. And sometimes I look in the mirror and say, that's what you know how people do the affirmation?
Yeah. You do the opposite.
Yeah. They're like, you're enough. I'm like, you're a freaking Fink.
You're a freaking Fink
today, man. You're a freaking Fink today, dude. Yeah. Dang it, frickin' gosh. But I found my son now saying, what the heck?
Well, yeah.
Grateful he's not saying anything else, but
yeah.
Maybe need to dial that in. I don't know. I don't like the way he says it. He says it with a little like venom. I'm like,
calm it down, buddy. That's awesome.
Frick is probably about as nasty as we get around.
Okay. That's good. That's solid. Okay. Next question. What's like one of your favorite kids' toys or activities? Like something you do with your kids?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it's called this. I might be watching too much social media, but what is vestibular play? Is that rough?
I have no idea.
All right. I like to take them and slam them.
Yeah.
Blow them. And I just like to mix it up. Am I even close?
Vestibular play involves activities that simulate the vestibular system, like balance movement, spatial awareness, jumping, balancing. It's crucial for child development. This is Google. This is not off the top of my head. Yeah, it's like running, jumping, spinning, swimming.
He knows.
No, this one was Google. This one was blatantly the joy of the second screen.
That was the word that came to mind. I probably am not.
I think you're correct. It means like just moving your body a ton and like being more in tune with your ability to balance and control your body is what it looks like. According to Google AI.
I love to see my son courageous.
Yeah.
But I am not offended by his lack of courage. There's some things that I'm like, dude, come on, dude, you're being a baby, and I will challenge him, but I'm not really offended by him being afraid of things. I get offended when he won't, when I'm there and I'm encouraging it. I'm ready, literally making sure that if he were to fall, that like I'm all over this dude. I got him.
Yeah.
But the other day we have one of the rooms in our house is a couch, and then this metal sort of coffee table, and then a couch. And dude, we probably took 30 attempts at jumping from the couch to the table, and he kept landing on his feet. By the time that the night was over and he had accomplished it, we were both just giddy with validation.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, dude, I just love to see him right there at that precipice of doing something that he thinks is too hard.
Yeah.
And right there at that place, and then him pushing through it's got to be one of the greatest experiences.
That's cool.
I think as a man.
Yeah, that's cool. And then last question, what's like, if you had to give someone parenting advice, like what parenting advice would you give someone? And it's a pretty big question, but if like, someone is about to become a parent, what advice would you give them? That type of scenario.
Yeah. Let me say this. I think that the best thing that you could do to parent is to be a deeply rooted and whole person, to be a solid, to be a person yourself. I just don't believe, and have tried so often to be bankrupt of character, but to instill character, to be bankrupt of money, but to provide resources, be bankrupt of wisdom, to provide insight. And I've fallen so short in those areas, but I believe, especially in situations where I feel helpless or I don't know what else to do, I always try to take those times and turn it into a sort of a vertical thing between me and God. I mean, and you see the cross behind me, right? It's it's obviously vertical and horizontal. So before we ever can connect with somebody on the horizontal here, it's like we have to first be aligned vertically. And I think that aligning yourself vertically with God is going to do wonders for your horizontal relationships. Outside of that, I would say don't exasperate your kids. Like, I have with my 18-year-old, I have just played the fool by being heavy-handed in the standard and expectations that frankly I couldn't live up to.
Yes.
What a flawed strategy for parenting.
Yep.
And asking somebody to be
what
2,
you're not
3, 4, 5 times what I am. It's just I just think that the hypocrisy there is too much to overcome. Be strong and courageous, be solid in the Lord, be weak, be free to be weak in your parenting. God's strength is found in weakness. Seek him and he can be found. He's going to equip you with the resources to be the mom or dad that he's called you to be. He's not going to leave you hanging and daggling. He loves your kids more than you love your kids. He's put you with them to shape them and to change the world. So do it and do it well.
That's right, man. And then last thing, just a moment for like self-promotion. Like if you wanted to promote, like, I don't know if we have any listeners in the San Fernando Valley area, but if you want to say, like, hey, if you're in the area and you want to come to your church, if you want to say like what your Instagram handle is, self-promotion, all that good stuff, man.
Please, if any of this has resonated with you, we're launching a Kickstarter campaign and we need followers. So I would love to see you follow at Go Luvi. We're planning a church. We would love for you to pray. That's at Pastor Troy Fink. And I think that if I have one chance to promote anything, it would be the truth that has set me free and set my life on a different course, that Jesus Christ is the Son of God who gave himself for sinners and on the third day rose again. Believe in him and you'll have eternal life.
Yeah, man. Thanks, man. Appreciate it, Troy. Thank you so much for your time, and we'll connect sometime later, okay?
All right.
All right, bye, man.
Thank you for listening to the episode. Make sure to follow us on Instagram at the Imperfect Dads Podcast, and make sure to subscribe and rate us 5 stars wherever you listen to us, such as Spotify, YouTube, and Apple Podcasts. The music is provided by The Wild Feathers, and all episodes are produced by me. Make sure to tune in Mondays for new episodes.